God hear my prayers? Do I have to pray at a certain time of day to be sure He's listening?
No, God is ready to hear you anytime you pray, during the day or even in the night. Do you ever wonder how God can hear you pray? My name is Zach, and this is Keys for Kids. Maybe you've wondered how God can hear you pray, considering there are billions of people in the world. Maybe you're curious how He can hear you if you pray silently, like in your head. Well, God is all-powerful, and that means He hears everything, even silent prayers. If there's something that has worried you or stressed you out lately, let God handle it. Like it says in 1 Peter 5:7, give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares about you. Our story today is entitled, God Hears. Grandpa, I have a question. Reese knew her grandpa always liked to talk about God, and she knew he wouldn't mind the question she had on prayer. When does God hear us? Her grandpa's gray eyebrows lifted. When does God hear us? He grinned. When we shout really loud. Reese giggled at her grandpa's booming voice. But that's not how you pray. He hears me when I talk like this too. Grandpa lowered his voice to a whisper. He also hears me when I'm like this. He went quiet. Reese watched him. You're praying silently? Grandpa nodded. God hears us all the time, anywhere we are. He got up and offered his hand. Reese took it and let him lead her outside. If I went out into the woods and got lost, God would hear me. Grandpa motioned to the large forest in front of them. If I traveled to India or France or Australia, God would hear me there, Grandpa said. He would hear me if I was scared or if I was happy. He would hear me when I was alone or in a crowd of hundreds or thousands of people. So, Reese said, always? Grandpa turned to her with a grin. You're getting the point. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, I can talk to Him and He'll listen? Reese asked. Even if I'm quiet, He'll hear me? No matter where you are, how quiet or loud you are, or what you have to say, He'll listen, Grandpa said. He's never too busy for you. Thanks for answering my question, Reese said. You're always a good listener, Grandpa. He wrapped his arm around her. If you think I'm a good listener, God's even better. I try to listen when you talk, but I don't always pay attention to everything you say. God hears every word. He loves you even more than I ever could. He gave us His own Son, Jesus, so we could have a relationship with Him. He cares about everything going on in your life. You can talk to Him anytime. Reese leaned into him and smiled. She was grateful that her grandpa listened to her, but even happier with his answer. She was glad to know God would hear her anywhere and anytime. So how about you? When do you talk to God? Do you worry that He won't hear you when others are being noisy around you or when you're in your room alone at night? Do you wonder if He's really listening when you have a lot to say? He loves you and is always listening. He hears your prayers no matter where you are or what you're doing. Doesn't it feel good to know He always hears you anywhere, anytime? Our key verse is 1 Peter 5:7.
Give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares about you.
And our key thought for today, God always hears you.
Have you heard of the Red Rock Mysteries books? Bryce and Ashley are normal teenage twins, except they find adventure wherever they go. They deal with the usual middle school stuff, but they also learn how to track down stolen gold and outlaw kidnappers. Find the Red Rock Mystery book series at keysforkids.net and click shop. I'm Zach. Thanks for tuning in to Keys for Kids.